All right, good morning. Today is Thursday, December 1st. Good to see you today. Today's reading will be Philippians chapters 1 through 4. So as we go through some of these next books, there's going to be some days when we read 4, might even jump up to 5. So I was going over some of my old notes of the book of Philippians and found that we did a Bible study in 2012. Interesting thing is, I don't remember doing it, and it's 37 pages long. Alright, so Philippians, remember as we mentioned yesterday or the day before, is one of the prison epistles, so it was written late. It seems as though Philippi did not have a synagogue. If you look at Acts chapter 16 and verse 13, it talks about they went on the Sabbath out by a riverside. Philippi was more of a military city than a cultural one, and there didn't seem to be very many Jews there. The church there was started during the second missionary journey and corresponds to Acts chapter 16, verses 9 through 40. Remember Lydia, the Philippian jailer? Undoubtedly, this letter will be read by them as well. And then we find in Acts chapter 20 that Paul went back to Philippi during the third missionary journey. And remember, this letter would have been written in the imprisonment after the fourth. And the people of Philippi, when they heard that Paul was in prison, sent him love offerings, at least 3 of them, as you find in chapter 4. And we make a statement based on this book sometimes. Happiness is not where you are, it is who you are. Paul was in a prison and still found a way to rejoice. So as we then understand that and get into chapter 1, the regular salutation, prayer of thanksgiving, then he talks about the furtherance of the gospel, and to live is Christ. Chapter 2, we get to Jesus' example of humility in our lives. And remember, what this shows us is humility is not weakness. Humility is understanding our role and properly fitting into it. We go on about Timothy and Epaphroditus. Hey, if you're looking for a Bible name, there's one for you. Chapter 3, Paul talks about his qualifications as an apostle again. But then he also mentioned in chapter 8, all that is worthless. Chapter 4, then we get into a little bit of encouragement, exhortation, prayer by Paul. Talks about God's provision, and then a closing. So let's go pick on chapter 4, verse 13 real quick. It says there, I can do all things through Christ who strengtheneth me. We use that for sports, but however, if you look back there, look in context. Paul's in prison. I know how to be based. I know how to abound, suffer need, and be content. That's what it's talking about. All right. Enjoy reading the book of Philippians. We'll catch you tomorrow.